Yeah, hi, this is Mark from An American in Russia. It's been a while since I've posted, well, mainly because our entire summer, at least a lot of it, was consumed by the process of getting our two daughters into the university here, or universities. Also today, something a little bit different is, yeah, new studio, call it Studio B. All right, in terms of the universities, this was pretty involved and kind of eliminated my ability to concentrate on making videos. So now I think to myself, what the hell? Why not make a video about this process, right? If that's all I did. Well, I'm an American, thus the name for my channel, and my wife is Russian, or in the sense of nationality here in Russia, she would be thought of as Belarusian. So this makes our two daughters Russian American. With this combination, they have the possibility of getting their higher education almost anywhere in the world. So why did we choose to have them educated in Russia? Well, we chose Russia for various reasons. First, we live in Russia, and our daughters were born here. But it also helps that Russia has a history of high-quality education and a respect for a higher education. It also has a lot of very good universities. The main campuses of most of the finest Russian universities are located in Moscow and some in St. Petersburg. That doesn't mean you can't get a great education in the provinces. You can. Most of the large, well-known universities have a branch or have branch offices in many smaller Russian cities. Now, I explained just now why I wanted them educated in Russia, and many people would ask the question, why didn't you have them educated in America? And I'm sorry, because you have to remember, I can't get political about Russia right now, or, there'll be big problems. There's not freedom of speech here. But I'm American, and there is freedom of speech, so I'm going to speak freely about why our daughters were not educated in America, because your universities, frankly, now they're freaking horrible, okay? They're just dens of wokeism where they're more interested in teaching them 57 genders and weird stuff. And sorry, that's not going to help them, and it's not going to be very competitive on the world stage in terms of when it's time for them to go out and find a job. So, no, I see, and the cost, oh my God, the cost that you pay to get your children indoctrinated there is just simply unbelievable. So, no. I know the American university system very, very well, and no, I don't want my daughters to get an American education. They get a bachelor's degree here, then master's, doctorate, however, whatever level they want to go up to. It's accepted internationally. So there they are getting a very good education. So I'm not going to go on too much more, or I'm not going to go on any more about that. But there was a lot of thought, trust me, into where to send them. So I'm going to be staying purposely vague about the exact details concerning my daughter's universities for the sake of their privacy. I will say that of the top 10 universities in Russia, both of their universities rank in the top 5. One of their universities is extremely focused on a specific subject, and it is the best in the country for this. So the first step in going to a Russian university is have an idea what university you'd like to go to, or at least an idea about what you wish to pursue, and then choose your university based on this choice. Well, not just based on this choice, based upon whether you think you'll get accepted, based upon your scholastic or your academic career, cost especially. Well, anyhow, both of our daughters chose prestigious universities located in Moscow. This is how should I say, this is a parent's nightmare. I mean, I've got twins going in at the same time. Now, for Russia, the tuition is quite high, for Russians, and they'll need to have a place to live and to have food to eat, etc. Moscow is one of the most expensive cities in the world. So, because I have two daughters entering the university, how can we possibly accomplish this Herculean task? We started thinking about this possibility about 4 years before the time was upon us. That meant saving like crazy in order to put aside enough so that we could do it. However, in Russia, if your child is a good student and specializes in 1 or 2 subjects especially, there are competitions called Olympiads. These Olympiads are held at the school level, then the municipal, then regional, and finally the national level. We were fortunate because both of our daughters were really good students in school and also did extremely well in a few specific subjects, intensely well. Both became national winners in the Olympiads of their subjects. Now, when I say winners, there may be 30 people who are winners at the regional or at the national level. And beneath them, like another 30 people called placers. But becoming a winner or a placer allows the student to become budget students at many universities, almost all universities, including the top universities. What are budget students? Well, this is like getting a full scholarship. Their tuition, they attend tuition free. Yes, there are other costs, such as their dorms, such as food, clothing, everything else. But the tuition is free, and the tuition is not a small amount, not by Russian standards. Now, there is also other criteria which are factored in. The other most important thing you need to get into a university are good results in the state unified exam, which they're about the equivalent of the US SATs, or perhaps in the UK, the A-level exams. Perhaps I'm not from the UK, it's a guess. Now, in the US, the students typically take their SAT exams during the summer between their junior and senior years of high school. They get the results of their SATs and start applying for different universities. Usually by the middle of January, they've heard from the universities they applied to, and they know whether or not they have been accepted. They'll also know of any financial help that they can qualify for. So in the US, a high school student has already taken their college entrance exams, applied for a university, been accepted, and enrolled by the middle of January. At least this is the way I seem to remember it. In other words, they still have January through May to finish school, although they're already enrolled in the university for the following academic year. And that is a big load off of them and off of their parents in terms of planning. In Russia, the process is much, much different. First, nothing can even start until you graduate high school in June. Now, I say nothing can start. The one thing that can start is Olympiads start near the beginning of the school year, okay? But other than that, first you need to graduate and you need to have a diploma. Only then do you take your unified national exams. Yeah, that's right, you need to graduate first. Then you take your unified national exams, or they're called YEGE in Russian. Now, the school level of the Olympiads may have been in September, then municipal, regional, and national levels after that. National levels typically take place around January or February. So again, I can't say nothing can be done prior to graduation. Olympiads can be done, and that's a lot of work. That's a lot of studying. It's sometimes a lot of traveling for us. I mean, we were back and forth to Moscow several times for different Olympiads. June and July are sheer hell for kids and parents alike when it comes to applying for a university here in Russia. I will say, however, that the people and the officials that we dealt with during this process who worked for the various universities were extremely knowledgeable and helpful every step of the way. I was so impressed by this, I really was. Sometimes you think that bureaucracy doesn't work in Russia very well, but sometimes it works very well. That's it for now.